How's it going, everyone? After a relatively lackluster from PlayStation first party over the last year or so, here comes a game from Asabi Studios that I am incredibly excited for, and one that I could really see establish a brand new IP that PlayStation can build upon. Now, Astrobot's been around for a little while with Astro's Playroom. Astrobot got a VR release as well, but this one is a little bit larger in scale. It's not going to be limited to a VR release either, and I think there's a lot of excitement around the release of Astrobot on PlayStation 5, utilizing a lot of features for PlayStation 5, and yes, for an audience of the PlayStation community, I can understand you looking at this game and being like, don't know if it's my cup of tea. It's not necessarily that big budget, narrative-driven, single-player game that Sony is known for. It's not a Spider-Man, a Last of Us, a God of War. However, what it does offer is an accessible game to a large variety of different age groups. This is not just a game that is being catered towards a younger crowd. No, this game is harkening back towards the history and legacy of PlayStation, and I find that so fascinating. And a lot of the different gameplay elements are to be excited about it and how it's going to utilize the PlayStation 5's feature. There's so much to go over. The game is going to be priced at $59.99, and let's go over some of the information you should know. On top of that, the additions that are available for the game. We do have a little bit of insight on how long the game is going to be as well, so we'll talk about that as well in a little bit. But right off the top, join Astro in a brand new supersized space adventure. While this isn't going to be a gargantuan 30-hour experience or anything like that, this is a larger scale game than anything Astro's been a part of in the past. The PlayStation 5 mothership has been wrecked, leaving Astro and the bot crew scattered all over the galaxies. Time to ride your trusty dual speeder across more than 50 planets full of fun, danger, and surprises. On your journey, make the most of Astro's new power and reunite with many iconic heroes from the PlayStation universe. And that is an element of this game, the tugging of the nostalgic heartstrings, that they've done a great job of having a little bit of secrecy with it, and I've really appreciated that. The element of surprise when it comes to, oh, I know that character, oh, this is calling back to here. I feel like you're gonna appreciate that a lot more if you don't get that spoiled for you, and they've done a good job of keeping a little bit of that air of mystery attached to it, which I think is fascinating, and that's gonna be one of those elements of this game that, yes, while on the surface you might look at this game being targeted for a younger crowd, at the same time, it's a platformer that harkens back to old school platformers that you may have grown up with. On top of that, if you grew up playing PlayStation games since the PS1, PS2 days, it's gonna call back to a lot of those IPs and a lot of those franchises. The key features: no blast off on a supersized adventure from sandy beaches to lush jungles and piping hot volcanoes. Explore a myriad of memorable planets in search of Astro's lost crew. You'll have a variety of different planets, each with their own distinct design. Power up your platforming with your new powers, battle out a whole new roster of quirky baddies and huge bosses. Feel every hop, jump, punch, and crack through your DualSense wireless controller. One of the leads at Asabi did note that one of the most important elements of a platformer was the tempo of the game, and that's essentially like the rhythm that you go through of the game and keeping the pacing on point. And I feel like based on what we've seen out of Astrobot, they've done a really good job of realizing that. They also do note, join the PlayStation celebration, reunite with over 150 iconic PlayStation heroes, and celebrate 30 years of PlayStation history. And I think that word celebrate really exemplifies a large part of what Astrobot is. Yes, at a fundamental level, it looks to be a well-designed platformer with robust and well-developed gameplay, but on top of that, it's kind of a celebration of the PlayStation brand, and I feel like the longer you've been attached to this brand, the more you're actually gonna find enjoyment out of specific elements of this game. And that's where I say, even if you're somebody that's a little bit older, in your late 20s, early 30s, you probably grew up with PlayStation. You have an affinity towards so many of these PlayStation IPs, and seeing that represented in a charming platformer that you may have grown up playing games like this, I feel like the marriage of those two things is going to create an incredibly charming experience that people my age, people a little bit older than me, going into your 40s, 50s, I feel like there's a lot that you'll find enjoyment out of. There's gonna be a ton of new worlds to discover, and they've only revealed a few of those worlds, but there's gonna be over 50 planets that Astro will be visiting in his journey. We know about some of these locales, which I'm gonna go over, so if you don't want any spoilers, like I guess, you have the Construction Derby, you've got the Creamy Canyon, yes, quite quirky names to say the least. The Sky Garden is there as well, and then they've also highlighted the Aztec Trail. That's only 4 of the 50 planets, and then we also do note the Mighty Chewy, which is a little bit of a darker area as well. But there's gonna be north of 50 planets. Not every single planet is going to be this large-scale adventure, but they're all going to offer you something exciting to delve into. Astro's got a variety of different abilities as well. These powers give Astro weird and wonderful ways to explore planets and battle his enemies. He's got the Monkey Climber, the small ape bot with big hands helps Astro scale sheer surfaces and gigantic foes. Barkster, the Bulldog Booster, smash walls, blast into baddies, and fly over gaps with this rocket-propelled pup. You've got Twin Frog gloves as well. Enemies prepare to feel Astro's Fist of Froggy Fury with these spring-loaded gloves. Yeah, there's a little bit of combat to the game as well alongside its platforming as well. Then they also note, guess the VIP. Can you guess which VIPs these are? And they've already revealed some of the characters that will be showcased from PlayStation history, and I'll go over a few of those again. This is barely scratching the surface as far as all of the VIPs and characters that are going to be available. Watcher from Horizon Zero Dawn, you've got Kakaroo from Ape Escape, Cat from Gravity Rush, Joel and Ellie from Last of Us are showcased as well. Like, a lot of callbacks to PlayStation history, which I do think a lot of people are going to find enjoyment out of. Again, this is a $60 game, which I wouldn't say is a budget game release, but it is $10 less than your typical PlayStation 5 game release. However, it's not like this is going to be a super lengthy game. The main story, you'll probably finish it around 10 hours, maybe a little bit quicker if you rush through it, maybe a little bit longer if you do take your time. The Platinum Trophy, on the other hand, will be a little bit lengthier, 20 to 25 hours. The PlayStation Game Size Twitter account did note that to get the Platinum Trophy with a guide, that'll be less than 15 hours. You know what that's reminiscent of? A game called Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and I know that game had a little bit of a mixed reception as far as its length, but at the end of the day, you've got so many options as far as big game releases that if you want a 50-hour RPG, if you want a 70-hour open world game, if you want a 40-hour open world game, those are available in droves. Star Wars Outlaws just came out. Black Myth Wukong just came out. There's a lot of options for those of you that want a content-filled experience. A smaller scale platformer is something that Sony and PlayStation doesn't put out a lot of, and I think, you know, having this level of variety, not to say that they should be putting out a hero shooter at $40 that no one wants, but a game that I think people would be compelled by, is exactly what Astro Bot is. And even at a $60 price point, look, it'll eventually go on sale. Look, there's a billion open world games that are 80 hours that go discounted for $20. I don't think we should quantify a game's value just based on its length. I think games that are built to be a more compact experience at around 8 to 12 hours at length have a place in the gaming ecosystem, even if you think that it's not worth $60. For a lot of people, it's going to be worth that, and again, if you want to get the Platinum Trophy, it'll be a little bit lengthier. Also, this game is going to be running the gamut of PlayStation 5 features, a game that's actually utilizing what the PlayStation 5 has to offer. Stunning graphics, Astro has never looked better. Explore a beautiful color universe in crisp 4K. You've got full support for haptic feedback. The DualSense wireless controller's haptic feedback and built-in speakers make Astro's universe feel truly alive. Adaptive trigger, Astro's actions come to life. Feel the might of power-ups and the tension of tools as you repair the PS5 mothership, ultra-high-speed SSD as well. Zoom between galaxies in the blink of an eye thanks to the PS5 console's SSD, and Tempest 3D audio tech is supported as well. Dive into another universe with 3D audio that transports you to the incredible world of Astro Bot. I do also want to note that the standard edition for Astro Bot will be priced at $59.99. There is a digital deluxe edition. It's $10 more. Doesn't get you anything insane. Not something that's super necessary, but that'll get you the Astro's Yarnum Hunter outfit, Astro's Golden outfit, the Neon Drum dual speeder color. You'll get the Champions Gold dual speeder color, 10 PSN avatars, digital soundtrack, and art gallery. Game progression required to unlock some of those outfits as well, so keep that in mind. Pre-ordering any edition of the game will get you the Astro Lovestruck outfit, the Glorious Graffiti dual speeder paint color, and 2 Astro avatars as well. That's with the pre-order of either the standard or the digital deluxe edition. The game will be released physically as well. And if you do buy the physical standard edition, it comes with a full game on disc, the outfit, and the dual speeder color, and the 2 avatars that we mentioned with the pre-order, and you'll get a physical poster. So how about that if you do want that? But that is going to do it for me. Again, first-party releases from PlayStation has been rather light this year. Concord just got shut down, and Astro Bot is the game that I think a lot of us are gravitating towards as being the one shining title from PlayStation first party this year, and I think it does look pretty great. great, and I know it's not going to be that game that necessarily goes in line with the PlayStation first-party titles that have come out over the last few years that people have really gravitated towards, your narrative-driven single-player games, but variety in a good way, in a way that we are tackling genres that PlayStation is lacking in, and it's done in a good way and in a compelling way, and in a game that's well thought out. I feel like Astro is offering you all of that. The game is officially out on September the 6th. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know your excitement level. Is this a game you're gonna pick up right away? I know especially our audience are gonna be a little bit divisive if they're gonna pick this up right away or wait for a sale, but sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.